Hi, history lovers, and welcome back to another chilling dive into the shadows of the past. Imagine this, a young woman alone in her grand manor house, her servants mysteriously sent away for the day. She descends a narrow staircase, perhaps lost in thought about her absent husband, the man who's risen to become the closest confidant of England's virgin queen. Then, a sudden fall, a broken neck, and her lifeless body discovered at the bottom. Was it a tragic accident, or something far more sinister? A calculated murder to pave the way for a royal marriage that could shake the throne itself? Today, I bring you the story of Amy Robsart, the forgotten wife whose mysterious death in 1560 ignited one of the greatest scandals of the Elizabethan era. Rumors of foul play swirled around her husband, Robert Dudley, and even implicated Queen Elizabeth I herself, exposing the treacherous underbelly of courtly ambition and erased legacies. This isn't just a tale of death, it's a cautionary whisper about power, betrayal, and the human cost of royal games. Stay tuned as we unravel the facts, debunk the myths, and ask, could this have been murder at the foot of the stairs? If you're new here, hit that subscribe button for more gripping historical dramas like this one. Let's uncover the truth together. To truly grasp the horror and mystery of Amy Robsart's death, we must step back into the turbulent world of Tudor England, a time when the throne was a precarious perch, balanced on alliances, religion, and ruthless ambition. It's 1558, and Elizabeth I has just ascended as queen after the bloody reign of her half-sister, Mary Wise. England is fractured, Catholics versus Protestants, old nobility clashing with new favorites, and whispers of foreign invasion echoing from Spain and France. At the center of this storm stands Robert Dudley, Elizabeth's childhood friend, and now her master of the horse, a position that kept him intimately close to the Queen. Dudley was born in 1532 into a family of schemers. His father, John Dudley, Duke of Northumberland, had tried to place Lady Jane Grey on the throne, leading to executions that nearly claimed Robert's life too. Imprisoned in the Tower alongside Elizabeth during Mary's rule, their bond forged in shared peril, Dudley emerged as her unwavering ally and rumored lover. Enter Amy Robsart, born around 1532 in Norfolk to a wealthy Protestant family. She was no courtly beauty in the glittering sense, but a practical, devout woman whose marriage to Dudley in 1550 seemed genuine at first. As one contemporary ambassador noted in a letter to Philip II of Spain, Lord Robert has come so much into favor that he does whatever he likes, and it is even said that Her Majesty visits him in his chamber day and night. But Amy, she was sidelined, living in isolation at Cumnor Place, an Oxfordshire manor leased from a friend. No children blessed their union, perhaps due to Amy's rumored health issues. Some sources whisper of a malady in one of her breasts, possibly cancer, as reported in diplomatic dispatches. This era was rife with inbreeding scandals among the nobility, but Dudley's line was relatively spared compared to the Habsburgs or even the Tudors themselves. Yet the political context was poison. Elizabeth, unmarried and childless, faced pressure to wed, but any suitor threatened her independence. Dudley, ambitious and Protestant, dreamed of queenship by her side, but Amy stood in the way. Myths abound that Amy was a mere pawn, but primary sources like the coroner's inquest records paint her as a loyal wife, abandoned for courtly intrigue. As Dudley wrote in a letter to his steward just days before her death, "I do now understand that you have commoned with Dr. Bailey. I pray you let me hear again from you how he doth." Foreshadowing or innocent concern? Debunking the myth early. No, Elizabeth wasn't directly plotting. Her own letters show anguish over the scandal. But in this web of favoritism and fear, Amy's life was doomed to tragedy from the moment Dudley caught the Queen's eye. Now, let's trace the dramatic ascent that set the stage for Amy's fateful end, building layer by layer the tensions that exploded in scandal. Robert Dudley's rise began in earnest with Elizabeth's coronation in 1559. Picture this: a lavish procession through London, trumpets blaring, crowds cheering as the red-haired queen waves from her litter. By her side rides Dudley, resplendent in velvet, his horse prancing as if he owned the streets. As master of the horse, he controlled her stables, her travels, even her escapes from the stifling court. Ambassadors gossiped furiously. One Venetian envoy wrote, "The queen seems to be unable to live without him. He is in such favor that people say she is insane for him." But while Dudley basked in royal light, Amy languished in shadows. Married at 18 in a ceremony attended by the young Edward VI, their union started sweetly. Dudley's letters from those early years brim with affection, calling her "my own dear wife." Yet, as his star rose, hers dimmed. By 1559, Amy was shuttled between rented homes, her health declining. Whispers of her illness spread. A letter from Dudley to his physician mentions the malady which troubles her, fueling later theories of slow poisoning. Was it cancer, as some historians speculate, or depression from neglect? Amy's own correspondence is scarce, but one surviving note to her tailor pleads for a new gown, hinting at a desire to reclaim some dignity. The court buzzed with intrigue. Elizabeth, flirtatious and jealous, toyed with Dudley openly, dancing late into the night, sharing private jests. But marriage? Impossible while Amy lived. Foreign suitors like Archduke Charles of Austria vied for Elizabeth's hand, yet she rebuffed them, saying, as chronicler William Camden recorded, "I will marry none but whom I love." Dudley, ever the opportunist, fed the flames. In 1560, tensions peaked. Spanish ambassador de Quadra reported Dudley boasting that "the queen is so nimble in her dealings that if by any chance she should wish to take me for her husband, she would in any case never give me up." Amy, isolated at Cumnor, grew despondent. Servants later testified she prayed for death, saying, "God, deliver me from this misery." Dudley visited rarely, his letters curt. Then, in summer 1560, events accelerated. Dudley wrote urgently about her health, consulting doctors. Picture the manor, stone walls echoing with emptiness, Amy pacing alone. On September 8th, she insisted her household attend a fair, leaving her unattended, a bizarre order for a lady of status. Was it suicide setup or foul play's ploy? The stage was set for catastrophe, a web of ambition tightening around an innocent woman. But it gets darker. Rumors of assassins hired by Dudley's rivals, or even the Queen's agents. Fact-based analysis. Political ambition drove Dudley, but evidence points to coincidence over conspiracy. Still, the scandal exposed the era's treachery. Favoritism bred enemies, and one woman's life became collateral in the Game of Thrones. And now we reach the heart-wrenching peak, the day that shattered reputations and birthed enduring mystery. It's Sunday, September 8th, 1560, at Cumnor Place. The air hangs heavy with autumn chill. Church bells toll in the distance as Amy, dressed simply in gray, dismisses her servants to the local fair. "Go," she urges, her voice edged with unusual insistence, as recounted in the coroner's inquest records. Alone in the echoing halls, what thoughts plagued her? Despair over Dudley's infidelity, fear of her worsening illness, or something more ominous, a premonition of doom? Hours pass. The servants return at dusk, laughter fading as they enter the dim foyer. There, at the foot of a shallow stone staircase, merely 8 steps, lies Amy, neck twisted unnaturally, skull fractured in 2 places. Blood pools on the cold floor. Her headdress, eerily intact, suggests no struggle. The household erupts in panic. Messengers race to Dudley at Windsor Castle, where he feasts with the Queen. His reaction? Feigned shock, then swift action. He demands a jury of discreet and substantial men for the inquest, as his letters reveal, pleading, "I pray you let the thing be so searched out as the truth may appear." The coroner's jury, after weeks of deliberation, rules accident, or possibly suicide, though they settle on misadventure. Witnesses swear Amy was melancholic, but no poison is found, no intruders evident. Yet doubts fester. How does a fall down so few steps break a neck and crack a skull twice? Medical speculation from the time, echoed in modern forensics, suggests force, perhaps a push or prior weakening from illness. Was it murder? Theories abound. Dudley's agents slipping in to stage an accident, clearing his path to Elizabeth. Or Cecil's spies framing Dudley to derail a royal match. Even Elizabeth is suspected. De Quadra wrote she confided days before. Lord Robert's wife is dead, or nearly so. Coincidence or slip of the tongue? The emotional toll. Dudley, grief-stricken or guilty, withdraws, writing anguished letters. "I am so sorry that I have so offended God." Elizabeth, pale and furious, banishes him briefly, her screams echoing through Windsor. "If by my means he shall come to harm." The tragedy's horror lies in its intimacy. A woman, betrayed by love and ambition, meeting a violent end alone. Build the tension. Imagine her final steps, a shadow lurking, or despair driving her to leap. Sources confirm no definitive proof of murder, debunking wild myths of poisoned wells or hired thugs. Yet the mystery endures, a dark stain on Elizabethan glory, where one push or fall could topple empires. In the aftermath, Amy Robsart's death didn't just end a life, it ignited a firestorm that scorched reputations and reshaped history. Dudley, branded a wife killer by pamphlets and ballads, never married Elizabeth. The scandal made it politically toxic, as foreign courts sneered at the murderous favorite.
Better.
Elizabeth's reign, while golden, bore this shadow, her virginity, perhaps enforced by fear of similar accusations. Amy's erased legacy. Buried hastily at Oxford, her grave unmarked, she became a ghost in Tudor narratives, a cautionary tale of ambition's casualties. Modern views in books like Chris Skidmore's Death in the Elizabethan Age, or films like Elizabeth, where her death is dramatized as suicide, often romanticize, but Hollywood gets it wrong. No grand conspiracy proven, just tragic ambiguity. Lessons abound. The perils of favoritism in absolute monarchies, where personal scandals topple dynasties, echoing through to modern royal dramas. In my opinion, it was likely accident amid illness, but the doubt reflects how power devours the innocent. What do you think? Was it murder, suicide, or fate? Comment below. I'd love to hear your theories. From a loving bride to a discarded obstacle, Amy Robsart's story is a tragic reminder of how royal ambition devours lives, leaving legacies buried in mystery and courtly treachery. Her death, whether accident or assassination, exposed the fragility of Elizabeth's throne and the human cost of power games, a cautionary tale that endures, urging us to question the erased voices in history. Thanks for joining me on this journey through the dark heart of the Elizabethan court. If this tale of scandal and suspicion gripped you, give it a like to help spread the word, and subscribe with notifications on for more historical dramas that uncover the brutal truths behind the crowns. Share your thoughts in the comments. What's your verdict on Amy's death? For deeper dives, check my Tudor playlist or support the channel on Patreon for exclusive extras. Link below. Next time, we'll explore another royal enigma, the boy prince who rotted alive in his father's prison. Until then, keep exploring history's shadows, stay curious, and keep learning.